Welcome back everyone to another video, and in this video I wanted to talk about how much does it actually cost to buy a house, an investment property in 2026, because it is vastly different than it was 2 years ago, just because house prices have increased so much in value. And if you're trying to find a good property like this one in Corio in Geelong for around $575,000 in a well diversified regional location, and before those of you who crucify me, yes, Geelong is very close to Melbourne. How much does it actually cost? How much money do you need, whether in cash or whether in equity, to be able to purchase a property like this? And I'm going to break down the numbers for you very, very simply. Now, just for argument's sake, let's just assume this property was around $600,000, because often you'll find the good properties in regional locations are really asking around $600,000 or more these days. Awesome. Let's actually run the numbers. For a $600,000 property, when you go with around a 10% deposit, lower than the standard amount of 20%, your deposit amount will be around $60,000. Now, that means you have a loan of around $540,000, but then when you're purchasing a property under a 20% deposit, then you'll have LMI, or what is known as lender's mortgage insurance. And lender's mortgage insurance will vary between lender and your product type, and it's best to chat to your mortgage broker about it. But you'll be paying roughly around $10,000 to $15,000 for a 10% deposit or so. And that brings your total amount to $555,000. But the thing is, this is just your deposit amount. This is just the amount that you need to pay the vendor. And there are various other factors that you need to consider. And the biggest expense apart from your deposit amount will be your stamp duty. Now, stamp duty is an absolute killer and it costs a lot of money. And if you're purchasing a property like this one in Corio in Victoria for around $600,000, when you go and put this into your stamp duty calculator, and for an investment property, you will need about $32,701 to purchase a property like this. So let's just put, for argument's sake, $33,000. And unfortunately, this is a cost that you will just have to bear, and there is no getting around it. And yes, if you purchase a property under a first home buyer scheme and then you change it to an investment property, that is a viable strategy, but it doesn't work for everyone, and not everyone is in that situation. But apart from that, you have other fees. You'll have legal fees, which will cost you around $1,500 to $2,000. You'll also have a settlement fee, which will be added to your loan often, or you'll have to prepay it depending on your lender and your product. Could be anywhere from around $350 to $700 to $800. And then the other most important one is your building and pest inspection fee. Now, I never recommend anyone purchase a property without a thorough building and pest inspection report. It is so critically important because you are buying a $500,000 to $1 million asset. You want to know exactly what you're buying from the structural integrity point of view, from the cosmetic interior point of view, as well as from a pest inspection point of view. You want it to pass all checks. And this $800 that you need to spend to get it done is the most important amount of money you will spend, I believe, in your property purchase process. There is nothing more important to me than a good building and pest report. So that will cost you about $800. Please do not skip it, please. Now, sometimes once you purchase the property and you're about to settle on it, often owners will leave it untidy, or tenants are not leaving the property in a good condition when you occupy the property. So you may need to pay a cleaning and removalist fee around $400 to clean a standard 3x1. It is more expensive depending on the area and region you're looking at, or you can do it yourself. That is a small fee that I like to factor in to just get your property up to rental standard. And then you also have things like the registration fee as well as transfer fee, which will cost you around $1,500 to $2,000 to $2,500 depending on product and length. And this registration fee and transfer fee will be around $2,000 depending on the state that you're investing in. And a lot of those fees are variable and they will all end up falling around that sort of benchmark. The biggest fee that you'll pay that is not your standard deposit will be your stamp duty. And this is the most annoying fee you'll have to pay. And it honestly makes property transactions so costly because of this. Because once it's gone, it's gone. And remember, there's other fees you could possibly pay as well along your journey, whether it's a buyer's agent fee, if there's other electrical and plumbing inspection fees and more. There are always variable costs that you'll have to factor in. But these are sort of the main ones you'll find in almost every property purchase that you will do. And so what does that mean for you? If you add the deposit amount plus all your other additional costs, your total cash required for a $600K property on a 10% deposit will be roughly $3,000, right? And that is just for the cash you actually require to purchase a 600K property, whether that's in cash or whether that's in equity, right? So that's important to factor in. If you have a 20% deposit, for example, then you'll need about $158,000, $159,000 to be able to purchase an asset like this. Now, I don't really suggest anyone go below a 10% mark because then you just have too much debt hanging over your head, and that is something to be aware of. And you can vary. You can put 10%, you can put 12%, and that will adjust your numbers accordingly. You can put 15%, and then you need more or less. But let's just work with the 10% deposit because, $100,000 is what most people can actually save up, and in terms of equity, or whether it's a grant or whether parents helping out, etc. So if you're starting out and you're buying a $600,000 property, you're going to need around $100,000 for a 600K property. But that isn't just all it when it comes to purchasing a property. You have to then think about ongoing costs. And by the way, this is a very simplified version just to show you a rough idea of how much things cost. But say once you purchase the property and you put 100 grand down, but then you also have to factor in all the ongoing expenses with the property. Now, this is a very, very simplified version of it. There's a lot more expenses, but the main expense that you will pay when purchasing a property is your mortgage repayments, obviously. And currently your interest rate is going to be around 6.5%, depending on the lender and bank you go for and depending on your rate that you get. This will vary person to person, but roughly I've just put around 6.5%. And if you're putting a 10% deposit on a $555,000 loan, your payment is roughly going to be around $3,000. Right? So every single month, 3K is going to leave your bank account, and you need to have the income to suffice that loan. Now, you usually will if you're getting approved, but that is important to factor in. Now, but it's not only that. Obviously, you'll also get the rent per week, and roughly I've just put $500, which will give you a rental yield of around 4.33%. But over the year, you'll be negative around 10K or so. But don't forget, guys, there's a multitude of other expenses when it comes to actually holding an investment asset, when it comes from council rates, water rates, to maintenance costs, and more. Right? And so this is just a very, simplified figure just to show you a rough idea of how much it's going to cost you. And if you want a more detailed breakdown, leave a comment down below and I'll do that for you guys as well. But just to show a fresh investor of what it costs to purchase a property and then also hold that property, this is how much you're going to need at a minimum, guys, right? I'll also show you a comparison when you purchase a different type of property as well. But before I do get into that, if you haven't already, guys, I have a property blueprint education program where I help investors like you who are watching this video actually supercharge your property journey, finding the best properties out there, helping you understand step by step how to break down a suburb, analyze different locations, and pick a property that is right for you to invest into based on your own strategy. And by the way, guys, there's over 8 in-depth modules and 60 plus videos and hours and hours and hours of content for you guys to go and have a watch of. Read, learn, and understand. There's also 1 month access to the private community where you can ask me any questions and I can help you with your strategy, with your property purchases, and helping you pick the right asset so that you guys aren't making the mistake. And I also break it down in the education curriculum on the website so you can understand exactly what you're getting. Each video is titled so you know what you're watching and what you're getting for the money that you're spending, right? It is literally $349. It is an absolute bargain when you really think about what other property gurus and buyers agents are charging for. Some are charging $10,000 for a course or an entrance fee to their buyers agency service. It is absolutely ridiculous for the times that we live in. So I have made this course to make property education affordable for you guys so that you don't have to make silly mistakes like I did. It's all written out here, and then you get access to private mentorship via me and other community members. So don't waste any more time. Jump in the community, get the help you need, because this will help you not just for now, but for many, many decades down the future as well. Let's get back in the video. Now, we've just been talking about a 600K property, but what does the numbers look like if it's a 500K property? We're going with the same deposit amount of 10%, so the deposit is around $50,000. We will have LMI as well for this property, so total loan is around $465,000. Now, your stamp duty on this, if you put 500K instead of 600K, you can see is around $26,000, right? So around $26,000. All the other costs are the same, but your total cash required for this property is around $20,000 less, which is a huge amount of money, because for you to save up 20K, that takes almost 12 months for someone on a very average income, and that's them skimping and saving, by the way. In that same time, the 500K market would have already grown by 10 to 15%, and you've missed out on maybe 50 to 80K worth of growth. So once you save up 80 to 90K, you can get into the market right this second, right? And at a similar interest rate of 6.5%, your repayment is lower, around $2,500, and I'm just going to put put the rent to be $450, which gives you around 4.6% yield. And the reason I've done that is usually, this 500K price point will lead you to smaller regional markets, which has higher yields. So then you get a better yield in terms of the property. So your cash flow is a little bit better. It's around $750 per month negative and around 7 to 8K negative per year. And these numbers can look better and worse depending on your deposit amount. If you put 20%, you need more cash up front, 130K, but a lot better in terms of the cash flow. If you have 12%, still not bad, around negative 700 or so. So you can see how the deposit amount affects your overall gain or loss in a financial year. But this video has shown you exactly how much you need to purchase an investment asset. So in today's day and age, in 2026, if you have around $100,000 saved up, whether in cash, equity, or you're getting a parent's loan, or you're doing it with a friend or whatnot, if you have around $80,000 to $100,000, you can get into the market today. And I'm not here to tell you to go buy properties in the $300,000 to $400,000 price point, because that's a little bit riskier. And yes, I know you can get into the market earlier, but there are risks associated with that. But if you're trying to find in good regional locations for around $500,000 to $600,000 to $700,000, you will need around $80,000 to $100,000 to get into the market. So if you're at this point and you have that cash sitting in you, don't waste any time. Let's get into the market. Do the Property Blueprint education program, get educated, jump in the private community and purchase an asset, because this is the last year where we will see this price point in any good regional locations. Till next time, thank you very much.